Great. Okay, so what to expect for this week crypto market outlook? Should we see a bottom coming in soon, or should we expect another new lows for the crypto market as we are heading for the FOMC meeting? Okay, and of course, together with the Friday event as well, that is happening on 22nd, okay, 22nd August, 10 p.m. our time, which will be a Jackson Hole event in the US. So that's where Jerome Powell will be making a statement, a speech in Wyoming, not mistaken. Okay, something like an economic forum. So that could also cause a lot of volatility for the market. And you can see before the event happening, and especially later on with FOMC happening at around 2 a.m. Okay, market starts to head lower. Okay, market is trying to price in on the sentiment. Most likely, I think Jerome Powell's speech will be hawkish. Okay, I think probably he might going to make a speech, okay, regarding about next month's interest rate. Maybe he might give another hawkish tone again, okay, or probably to discard any chances of cutting the interest rate. As we can see, the FOMC side have mentioning about 85% chance that there will be a rate cut on September, first ever rate cut. So most likely Powell might be hawkish. Okay, so that is the expectation there. That's why you can see market also is taking a breather. And of course, we already hit an all-time high, 124K, plus Ethereum also hit about 4.7K. So a pullback, a short-term pullback, a breather is much needed. And you can see that the market is having a healthy correction rather than going up only one direction. So yeah, we can see here. So Bitcoin is heading down, and should we see 112K could be the final bottom? So that is everyone's mind right now. Is the bottom in, or should we expect more lower? Okay, so if it breaks the psychological level, which is the 100K, and then I think that's where everyone will get panic. Okay, so there are a lot of major factors also we are looking at, especially coming in from the SEC, and of course talking about AI as well. Okay, so I think SEC right now also they also try to delay the ETF approval for Solana Ripple. Okay, everything is on hold, but I think all is like a waiting game at the moment. Okay, and of course right now we can see talking about the tariff as well. Okay, and weakening confidence in the Federal Reserve, right? So as long as tariff imposed, that's where Federal Reserve will have a hard time to actually cut interest rate. That is according to Jerome Powell. So as long as the tariff put on hold, as long as there is a slight debate on the tariff, I think it gives the Federal Reserve a higher chance to actually cut. So for now, it's having a huge challenge for Jerome Powell to whether cut or most likely by September. Okay, a high expectation to cut. Okay, so I think they're already under pressure, okay, from the department to actually cut the interest rate. So leading up for September, and then all the way from, I think, November and December, 3 rate cuts are expected by end of this year, Q4. Okay, so yeah, I think nonetheless, we can see here, these are short-term noise. Okay, all these are just a distraction. Okay, investigation, then we have seen some slight hiccups on the AI side. Okay, talking about Donald Trump's World Liberty Finance. Okay, their company, they are actually having the IPO, not mistaken, they're going public. Okay, I think they are selling their tokens as well. Okay, initial coin offering, ICO. Okay, so they're offering to the public as well. So I think there's a hiccup there. Okay, I think there's some regulation ongoing for World Liberty Finance. So they need to fix it up. Okay, but nonetheless, everything is looking quite bullish. Okay, so moving on next. Okay, so you can see here. So today we have the Bitcoin fear. Okay, from greed to fear. Okay, so you can see how fast the market sentiment have changed from greed to fear. And of course, I'm not sure how many of you guys have really taken advantage of the dip, okay, that the market have offered you. So always remember, dips are for buying, and you want to buy when there's fear in the market. Okay, so even I myself also have added some allocation today. Okay, so some of the coins are actually undervalued. Okay, and maybe you might want to search those undervalued altcoins. They are already down maybe 60%, 90%. And if you feel that that coin can go, have a high chance to actually break towards the upside, or the coin have high utility. Okay, you think that the coin can have a higher chance to actually break out or to create a new all-time high, then maybe you might want to consider. So, okay, then of course, another thing to take note is how long will the pullback last? Okay, how long should we wait after the massive correction? Okay, or the pullback from the bottom high from 124K. And as of now, it's about 113K. Okay, so we should see here, right? Bitcoin ongoing weakness mirrored previous cycle. Okay, beginning around 480 days after the halving event. Now, if the pattern holds, the current pullback may last for another 2 to 4 weeks. So maximum roughly about 1 month, 30 days. Okay, with history suggesting a recovery and acceleration to new highs around day 510. Okay, so 480 to 510. So that's about 30 days. Okay, give and take 1 month. Okay, 1 month. All right, so dip happens. Okay, so Bitcoin weakness mirrors previous cycle. Okay, so I think this is normal. This is a time maybe you might want to really consider or accumulating or allocating, because this is the final chance. Last chance for you to buy the dip. After that, I think Q4, most likely these coins will continue to rise again. Okay, if the coin have narrative, if the coin have utility, okay, and if this coin is this year's cycle, then most likely there could be a high chance to break higher. Okay, so yeah, 2 to 4 weeks. So you might want to pay attention, okay, instead of sitting on the sidelines. Now, if you have some dry powder and if you feel that you're under exposed, okay, then maybe you might want to add some or dollar cost average, DCA. Okay, rather than going in at one price. Okay, so we can see the fear and greed index. No, now we are already at the fear sentiment. So that's where you want to really take advantage of the dips. Okay, then we can see here, if we close under 110K on the daily time frame, okay, then expect 105K to test. Okay, so yeah, I think most likely maybe there could be a high chance of a pullback to this level, 110, 105. Okay, so dips are for accumulating. So let me remind you this, that dips are for buying, okay, not for selling. Then early September will be bullish, and then Q4, okay, will be when the real fun begins, right? So I think a lot of people are anticipating for Q4 because this will be the final leg towards the upside. So Q4 is usually one of the bullish quarter, okay, especially after September, all right, leading up to the new year. So if you are well prepared, then I think you should be all set for the next leg up. If you feel underexposed, maybe this is a time you might want to consider within 2 to 4 weeks from now. Okay, because you cannot afford to sit on the sidelines anymore, because the more you sit on the sidelines, that's where you will miss out on the opportunity. Okay, so yeah, I think overall quite good. Short-term pullback, short-term noise. And then we move on next year. Okay, so we're talking about Celsius. So I'm not sure how many of you guys have deposited your money into Celsius and you're still yet to claim your refund. So I'm not sure about Young and Jim. Have you gotten your refund yet? So third distribution, okay, have given out, totaling about 220 million. Okay, so I think they also send you email. Have you received the email or not? That's Jim and Young. So I think maybe you might want to reply the email. Then you have to give your banking details for them to bank in your refund. Okay, so yeah, we can see here, Celsius has cautioned creditors from falling prey to rising phishing scams. So there are a lot of scam lately. I think they're sending email as well. Okay, and then investors are set to recover 67 to 85% of their investment or whatever amount of coin that they hold in that platform. Okay, all right, so this is the third distribution. Okay, I'm not sure how many rounds of distribution that you're getting, or maybe once, that's all. Okay, so after distributing 93% of the funds owned to creditors last year, okay, then Celsius will begin distributing the remaining funds to eligible creditors on August 20th, which is today. Okay, and then we look at where are the source funds of coming in from Celsius. Okay, so this is by the court filing. About 63.2 million of Celsius funds will be used to facilitate legal fees. Okay, funds from the disallowed claims of Alexander Masinski, which is the previous founder of Celsius. Okay, entities amounting up to 17 million. Okay, so if you are still yet to claim, then maybe you might want to check your email. Already distribute or haven't? I'm not sure, because you told me that you already gotten right your first distribution. They credited your local bank. So this is a third distribution. I'm not sure whether this is another batch or the same batch again. Okay, So if you already gotten, then I think it is already done. But for those of you who have yet to get the distribution, then maybe you might want to reply the email. Okay. So if not, then you won't get anything, right? So you better reply the email. Okay, and try to get back a refund. So they will credit only your local bank account, depending on your country. Okay, so that is the current situation right now, Celsius. So anything that offers you the kind of lucrative percentage, something like a fixed deposit on crypto, that's where you might want to stay away or to be cautious. Okay, so we already learned our lesson from so many platforms. So it is best to self-custody your crypto rather than putting into all this. Okay, for a couple of percentage, it's not worth the risk. Okay, so it's better to put into your MetaMask or your Ledger rather than staking. Okay, right? It's better to hold the coins at your own custody, right? Then moving on next with on-chain analysis. So we can see what's happening now with the halving cycle. Okay, it's coming in from CryptoCon. So where are we now, right? So if we look here, the halving cycle theory, okay, especially October and December, right? October and December, that's where the fun begins, okay? So yeah, you can see here, right? Halving cycle theory, there's a maximum of 4.5 months left to go in this cycle, okay? Plus minus 21 days from November 28th, okay, which is the red year or the red dot, which is only a little over 3 months away. And then, okay, and many people think that the cycle will be over once they think that the peak or the peak have already arrived, okay? All right, so yeah, I do think the cycle will be over by end of this year, okay? I'll be willing to bet there will be a major curveball to make everything more difficult. All right, so yeah, I think most likely by Q4, I think most likely we'll expect Bitcoin to peak first, following up by Ethereum, and then leading up to the out. So yeah, I think most of the time the cycle tends to lead around this level. Okay, October, December, that's where the peak is. Okay, the red hot month. Okay, so yeah, again, this is the level right now. Okay, November 28th. So we have to mark on that. Okay, that's the halving cycle theory. And then moving on next, okay, talking about altcoins. So we can see now what is really happening. Okay, so a lot of people are actually chasing for the shiny object. Okay, especially those small cap coins, small cap altcoins. But nonetheless, you have to understand that the rotation and all eyes is on BTC once the party is over. Once the out season is over, you know that the money rotation will be shifted to BTC end of the day. So ETH move while eyes on will BTC. So anything can happen. Reversal can happen anytime. All right. So Bitcoin fundamental index shows us that big BTC move after redistribution play out in 3 steps here. Okay. So yeah, again, we are somewhere in between 2 and 3 here. Okay, 2 and 3, number 2 and 3. So currently this is the market cycle right now, market behavior right now. So something similar like this, where what's happening now? Number 1 is recovery. We already gone past that. Number 2 is what? Accumulation. Now, so this is where the accumulation starts to happen. And most likely it will lead up to expansion. So once accumulation is done, once the sideways movement is done, okay, where the whales are happy with it, or when the big players are done accumulating, that's where they will start to push the price back up again, which is also known as expansion. So that's where we go up for number 3. So this could be the last one. Okay, 54 right now at this index. Okay, so maybe we should hit 75 level again very, very soon by end of this year. Okay, so hopefully you guys prepare. So accumulation is probably happening already and is already in the process. Okay, so you gotta find which are the alts that you really want to buy or want to hold. Okay, that will lead up all the way to this year, end of this year, Q4. Okay, then moving on next with Airdrop. So if you are doing this project called Boundless, okay, so the token sale, all right, or ICO, and of course the Airdrop is finally arrived. Okay, so they just announced their new token, also known as ZKC or ZK coin, totaling about 1 billion of tokens. Okay, all right, so Airdrop, the community is only about 6%. Okay, then they are giving to Kaito or Yappers. Okay, and then the best thing here is that the airdrop will be unlocked 100%. So there's no locking, 100% they give you. Okay, so for those of you who have been doing this, then you might want to go and check, or maybe you might want to claim under boundless. Okay, 6% seems small. Yeah, so usually standard is always 10%. 6% is too little, I would say. And then moving on next. Okay, so for those of you who have been doing Hyperlink, okay, so Hyperlink is an interoperability cross-chain solution where you can bridge from one chain to another. Right? Example, you have Ethereum on Optimism, you can able to bridge to base network. So that's the function of Hyperlink. And you can move to another network from point A to point B with another token that you can able to transfer, that you can able to swap as well. Okay, so if you've been doing this and you have at least create a transaction, a minimum of $3 in gas fees, okay, then you can able to qualify for this airdrop. Okay, I think this is the second season of airdrop for Hyperlink. Okay, so I think the claim they've given you about 2 days, 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks to claim. So you might want to claim your Hyperlink season 2 if you've been actively doing this. And then moving on next, they coming in from 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀. So for those of you who have been doing the testnet from 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀, okay, they have 270 million funding by VC. And finally, they have already dropped the checker, I think last Friday, not mistaken. Okay, you can start checking. Okay, and for those of you who have gotten your airdrop from 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀, especially like Young, okay, so first time got the airdrop, finally break the ice. All right, so I think there is some terms and condition here. 20% only they will release on TGE. The remaining 80%, I think you still have to continue doing the quest. So most likely they'll be using their token. They'll be going live on the mainnet, and we'll be using 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀 as gas fee and as transaction fee, okay, to transact on the latest quest from 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀. So we have to do tasks in order to claim the remaining 80%. Okay, so that's 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀. So for those of you who have been doing, okay, I think this is worth doing because heavy funding. I think the allocation also quite good. Okay, for those who really go out on this project. Okay, so like Young already gotten the first airdrop, so maybe you might want to also double up your effort, or probably maybe do more than one wallet. Okay, so you can able to qualify more. So yeah, that's the thing. Seeing is believing, and then also increase your confidence on the next level. Then moving on next, right? So it's coming in from 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 focusing more on linear side. So for those of you who've been doing this one, so you can able to register your airdrop, okay? Right, and you can able to probably choose whether you want to instant claim or probably to stake or to earn 2.5 times more on your allocation. Okay, so deadline is until 26th of August. So you got about 6 days to actually register your airdrop for mitosis. Okay, so this one, not really much of surprise, or probably not really have any high hope because this is a liquid risk taking. They have only 7 million funding by VC. So not much of hype on this. Okay, so I think a lot of people getting less allocation. Okay, or very low allocation. Okay, the risk is higher than the reward. Okay, so yeah, that's the drop from mitosis. Then moving on next with this airdrop called Blast Network. So for those of you who've been doing Blast, so you might want to register your wallet. Okay, so the deadline I think is until 21st, right? Which is tomorrow. So for those of you who've been doing, again, especially like Seong already done, registered. Not sure about Young, have you done? Espil, have you done or not? And then Jim, have you registered your wallet? So you have until tomorrow. But tomorrow is still, I think we are ahead of US. So 6 p.m. UTC most likely will be Friday, 2 a.m. morning, I think. So that will be until Friday, 2 a.m. our time. So you still have plenty of time, but maybe you might want to get it done as soon as possible. Yeah, okay, great. So for those of you who have registered, then you got to wait. Then I'm going to see how much are we going to get for the allocation for the best airdrop, because I think we can see like Grass Network also have delivered quite good. That's the first ever DPIN project. Again, have exceeded expectations. So we're going to see how best is going to distribute the allocation for first timers like this. Okay, so for those of you who have been running a node, okay, participated in our previous testnet, okay, active community member on Discord or Twitter, okay, then building on Blast. So this is how you qualify for the airdrop. Okay, right? By running a node, meaning you install the extension and let it run 24/7, or as long as you run it, you're getting the points, then you should be good. And then another thing here is also to filter out 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀, people who are gaming the system, right? They will check your IP, whether same, or they create multiple wallet or multiple extension. Okay, right? They will check all this, so maybe you might get disqualified if you are doing that. Okay, so one extension, one PC, one user. Okay, so that's how it is. All right, so yeah, I think the claim will be lasting about 14 days. Okay, all right, so you got to check. You will drop the checker very, very soon to see whether how much you got the allocation or whether you qualify or not. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Okay, so they also offer you this 3-month stake. They'll give you 3 times boost, 12 months, 8 times, 18 months, 15 times boost. But for me, I don't think I'll be staking. Okay, so you have to learn our lesson already. Whatever you have, you might want to keep it at your own wallet rather than stake, because we're already end of the bull run. Q4 is the last. Then comparison with Grass versus Less. Okay, so we can also see here. Okay, so what happened on Grass? First airdrop, even the base tier, most of us got about $300 by just being passive. Okay, they given out quite a lot by just being passive. And then mid tier somewhere around 1.5K USD. And then top tier, I think most likely is influencer, people who do heavy recruitment. Okay, they gotten about totaling about 30,000 US. Okay, so 2.8 million users eligible and 10% of the grass supply allocated for the drop. That is huge. Standard is always 10%. So let's see, can Blast Network able to be at the grass level? That is the most important thing. Or should we expect another disappointment, right? Because this passive airdrop, you have to lower down your expectation. Okay, anything that is passive, you might want to lower down, right? Because we barely even do anything on this. We just let it run. So let's see. Anything comes in is a bonus. So let's see. Okay. And then moving on next with the indicator, peak indicator. So where are we now? Okay, bull market peak indicators. These are the multiple indicators. I think this one 𝗀𝗺𝗀𝘀 also been mentioning. These are the overall multiple indicator. Okay, to summarize whether or not should we sell at the top or is the bull market peak. So as for now, we are currently at this 100%, which is to hold. So we can see all these indicators right now have not even hit. Okay, all these still showing X here have not hit yet. Okay, so many indicators, price cycle. Okay, Bitcoin rainbow chart. I think they have the NUPL as well, not net unrealized profit loss. Okay, Bitcoin dominancy here, still X. Altcoin season index. So all these haven't really hit, you can see, not even one. Okay, so I think once all these indicators start to show signs, hit, that's where you have to be very careful. Once it goes below, once it really approaches maybe 60, 70%, that's where maybe you might want to be careful and probably start to take some chips off the table, because anything can happen. But as for now, still holding, 100% hold. So yeah, I think final quarter, that's where the fun begins. And then moving on next with the coin market cap. So currently we are hovering around 3.82 trillion. So BTC at 112.9, Ethereum 1.4. Okay, so I think all preparing for the FOMC meeting later. Let's see how Jerome Powell is going to react on his speech. I think most likely will be hawkish. Okay, it will create another uncertainty moment. So gainers for today, meme call 21%, OKX token 8%. But for 7 days, it went all the way to 25.92. Palm.fund 4%. Okay, Chainlink 0.9%. Any losers? 𝗶𝗺𝗺𝗀𝘀 went up a lot already. So 7.31 is within 24 hours. Cardano 7%. You have Say Network 6.85. Okay, Potcoin now is about 5.16. Right. So yeah, overall this is short term. To get hyper liquid now is really $41, 41.1. So it went up quite a lot lately for hyper liquid. Okay, so let's move on next with the technical side. So we can see technical side on the dominance. Now, if you have any question, feel free to put in the chat box. I will answer it after this. So what to expect for the dominance. The dominance is still creating a higher low, higher highs, higher lows, high highs, high lows. Okay, it's like a staircase, remember? Okay, so this is 58.57. So this is the current support now. So that it needs to maintain. So for now, dominance on money is still uptrend. If we look onto the weekly time frame, weekly already break down below the lower BB. So they consider it as a momentum sell. So trend is actually downtrend. Okay, so you might see this short-term pullback, maybe to this sell zone here, 61.23. Okay, and then maybe you might see another pullback again, maybe at 59.51 leading up to 53.28. So that is the scenario now for dominance. So dominance will continue to go down. Then on daily, also hovering at the sell zone here. Momentum sell, pullback, momentum sell again, heading down again. Okay, creating lower low. Okay. H4, okay, so we can see H4 now is doing what? Above the middle band. So short term, most likely up. Major time frame is actually downtrend. Okay, so next level is 60.09. It says needs to break above. Okay, for H4. So if that's the case, might lead all the way back to here, 61.25 to retest on this weekly sell zone. Okay, then moving on next week, Ethereum against Bitcoin. So we can see it against BTC chart. Okay, so you can see here what happened. We tested on the middle band, get rejected. 0.03895. Okay, so where's the next support for the monthly? Probably will be here, 0.03134. Okay, look at weekly now. You can see what's happening now with weekly. Okay, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs again. Okay, so current resistance now here. So you might want to see a pullback. So this pullback also will give you around the support, 0.03449. Look at daily. Okay, very nice setup. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Okay, so trend is still uptrend on daily. Okay, so this will be the middle band as act as spot 0.03507. Okay, all right. Then moving on next with BTC, 113.1 now. So again, we try to retest back here, get rejected. Now it's back up 113.1. Okay, so if you look at monthly now monthly here, you can see already top, right? How much was the all-time high? 124.2. So this is the current resistance zone now, it's forming. And your current support will be here, 102.6. Okay, look at weekly time frame, BB squeeze. You can see the BB is squeezing. So if you look at monthly, it could be a sell to buy situation, a sell to buy signal. So maybe there could be a chance of a pullback at 102. Okay, all right. And then should we see this level here on the middle band at 107 if the price were to continue to go down again? Okay, high chance maybe it might continue to retrace back here, or probably this current support, 108.8. Okay, look at daily now. Break below the middle band, candlestick change of direction from buy to sell. So it's a sell setup now, it's happening now. Short-term pullback maybe to give you all the way back to 116.4. Okay, so for now, it's still retesting on this critical support. So this is the level here, 112.5. So 112.5 is the level, okay, that you want to watch for this week. And of course, within these 2 days as well. So it needs to maintain. If not, you might want to see around this level here. All these zones will be retest 110. Okay, 110, and then probably this level here, 101. Okay, so yeah, all this critical support. But for now, H4 momentum sell pullback. So hopefully we can able to bottom here, this level here. And should we see a double bottom, there will be a good sign to at least retest back on the middle band, 115.2. Look at Ethereum now. So Ethereum went all the way to 4.7. Okay, 4.7 here, 4791. Like I said, this is the final boss resistance, so to get rejected. Now the support, next support will be where now for monthly here, 3765. Look at weekly now. Okay, weekly nice high highs, high lows, high highs again. So pullback, okay, might give you around here, this level here at 4013. Okay, so the 4K level, it needs to maintain. It needs to close this level as support. So if we continue to go lower, then yeah, I think it will be a big trouble there for ETH again. Okay, so we've been stagnant since how long already here? 2021. 2021 till now. 4 years, almost 4 years. Still remaining at the same spot again. We should already be seeing all-time highs for ETH. Okay, so daily now, momentum pullback. So now just hovering above the middle band for now. So can it able to maintain above? If not, I'm going to see this level now. 3861 will be next for the daily time frame. Okay, look at H4. Momentum sell all the way trending towards the downside. So maybe we should see some reversal coming in at 2 a.m. Who knows? Okay, when everyone expect a bearish movement, usually the market tends to do the opposite for the market. Okay, Q&A. Does all coins still have potential? Like Polkadot, Cardano. So talking about Polkadot, I think we can see the narrative right now is slowly dying off. Not much of news coming in for Polkadot. So again, a lot of new coins coming up, especially this cycle. So that's where Polkadot will have a huge challenge. So if we look at the parachain activity also, it is already dying off. And after parachain, what they have been doing, that's the thing. Okay, so you can see the structure also stagnant. Okay, stagnant since when? 2022, 2023 level. Back down again at the same level again. So should we see a revival for this on last Q4? Okay, so it needs to reclaim, retest this level 4.6 and then continuation again to break past the middle band at 5.54. If not, maybe lights out for Polkadot to continue to go lower. Okay, so yeah, Polkadot will definitely face a huge challenge compared to Cardano. So at least Cardano is under the made in the USA. Okay, and then of course Charles Hoskinson is the founder of Cardano, so he has much more credibility. Okay, in terms of being the front man. Okay, and everyone knows him, and I think he has some close connection with the US or probably Trump's administration. So probably maybe Cardano might do well for the last Q4 compared to Polkadot. Okay, so we can look at dot structure also on the technical side. It's looking quite bearish, heading lower. So like I said, like, we cannot be holding all the way. So sometimes when there's a time to cut, you have to cut. Okay, right. So yeah, I think a lot of challenges from Polkadot 3.88 is a level to beat above. Okay, if it continues to go lower, right, then that's where the danger is. Okay, then we look at Cardano. Okay, so what's happening now with Cardano? So we look at Cardano, the structure is looking more lively compared to Polkadot. Dump, consolidation, pump, dump, consolidation, pump. And then dump again, consolidation, pump. You can see that the market is trying to repeat again, similar. So if you look here, it retested all the way to the top BB here, 1.01. Okay, 1.01 here. So the next resistance will be here, 1.07. So we can see already the market is trying to break towards the upside. Okay, so your support at here, about 56 cents. Okay, for Cardano, look at the weekly time frame. Okay, nice W pattern form, pull back, and then break again towards the upside. So yeah, you're gonna watch this level here. 85 cents is the level to maintain. Okay, if not, you might want to see around the middle band will be the support at 72 cents for Cardano. So short-term pullback, I think this will continue to rally again. Look at daily, okay, pullback. Okay, your middle band will act as a support for now. Okay, this level here, 82 cents for the daily time frame. Then on H4, we can see momentum sell, pullback for the entry sell. So this is a sell setup at the moment for H4. Okay, so should we see a rally towards the upside? Okay, so at least to retest back here. This level here at 90 cents for Cardano, which will lead you back on the middle band here. Okay, so probably short-term retracement. And I'm going to see whether can you able to break above 90 cents for Cardano. Okay, so that's the thing here. So Cardano is much better compared to Polkadot in terms of the technical side, in terms of fundamental. Okay, all right. So in terms of what they are doing, utility-wise, is much more livelier compared to Polkadot. So I think Polkadot is most likely to phase out or probably consider it as a dead project or probably obsolete when the time goes by. So there are a lot of out also that we can able to look at. Okay, look at BNB, for example, the exchange token, or also known as Binance Coin. So BNB, I'm sure how many of you guys have entered during the ICO phase in before 2017. Now they are already all-time high. They're looking quite solid. So all-time high is how much here? 869. 869 for exchange token. Okay, BNB, Binance Coin. Support zone will be 701. Okay, overall very bullish, higher highs, higher lows. Look at the weekly time frame. Okay, so we can see also the weekly doing very much trending up. Next resistance is here. This will maintain this level of support at 845 on the weekly time frame. So yeah, all these levels you're gonna mark, and if it comes back down here, 742, 742, 701. Okay, for BNB. Look at daily now. Okay, so daily now did a V-shaped recovery, consolidation now. So any chance of a pullback is by the deep event, 804. So all these levels in mark 804, 742, okay, it's a area maybe you might want to consider. So H4 also we can see already is starting to reject towards the downside. Okay, now it's trying to have a rejection and maybe it might reverse back up. Okay, so you can see already what's happening here. So hopefully market can able to reject this level to maintain this level as a bottom out situation. Or should we see this level as bottom, then maybe it's good. Then we can continue to consolidate and then continue to rally again for BNB. Okay, so that's BNB. So for those of you who have been holding this coin since last 2 cycles, then congratulations. Okay, so this one will continue to do well in the next cycle. And what else here we've been doing? Okay, so we have, look at TON, the open network. This is under Telegram. 3.24. Okay, so Monday, trend overall is downtrend, right? Okay, this will be the only critical support at the moment, 2.9. Okay, and then we look at the setup on weekly, extreme sell setup. A lot of reversal retest candle is formed, sideways, and maybe most likely to hit lower. Middle band act as support at 3.14. That will lead up all the way back here for weekly support at 2.72. Okay, the price for the continue to go down. Then look at daily now. Price break below the middle band. Candlestick change of direction from buy to sell. So short term, maybe towards the upside, might retest back here at 3.4 before heading lower again. So that is TON coin. Again, so that is TON coin. So overall, I think that's all I have for tonight.